Anger strikes like a wildfire, unstoppable, burning everything in its path. But what if I told you the secret to extinguishing it lies within you, and it's nothing like what you've been taught? Hey, I get it. Life hits hard. Someone cuts you off in traffic. A co-worker throws shade. Stress stacks up. And suddenly, anger takes the wheel. It's draining. You lose your cool. Snap at the ones you love. And then, you're left wondering, why can't I shake this? I've been there too. The frustration, the regret. You're not alone. But here's the promise. By the end of this video, you'll unlock a Stoic system to master your mind, to ditch anger for good, to trade chaos for unshakable calm. No more spiraling, no more second-guessing, just control over yourself. Here's what's coming. We'll kick off with the most powerful Stoic secret I've ever stumbled on. Then, 5 game-changing lessons to reframe your world. A simple 3-step technique to stop anger dead in its tracks. And finally, a 7-day challenge to lock this in for life. Stick with me. Because if you've ever asked yourself, why does anger keep winning? The answer might surprise you. It's not what you think. And once you see it, everything changes. Ready to take back your peace? Let's dive in. The hidden power you already have. Have you ever wondered why anger feels like a storm you can't escape? It crashes in, uninvited, tearing through your peace. But what if I told you there's a hidden power within you? A Stoic secret that turns that storm into stillness. I felt that rage too. The heat rising when someone cuts you off. The sting when a friend lets you down. It's overwhelming, and you're not alone in that struggle. Here's the truth that changed everything for me. Anger isn't some outside force. It's a choice you make. The moment you realize you can control how you react, anger loses its grip. It's not about silencing the emotion. It's about mastering your response. Picture this. You're at a family dinner. Your uncle tosses out a snarky comment. Your blood boils. You're ready to snap back. But last week, I tried something different. I stayed silent, took a deep breath, and the tension just melted away. The power wasn't in arguing. It was in choosing not to react. That shift, it's where freedom begins. Epictetus knew this centuries ago. He said, "You don't have to react to everything. What need is there to be troubled?" He's right. Anger only wins when you let it. It feeds on your response, not the event itself. And that's the key. You hold the reins, not the circumstance. So, next time anger flares, pause for 3 seconds. Ask yourself, do I need to react? You'll be amazed how often the answer is no. It's a small step, but it rewires your mind. Here's the twist. Studies show 90% of anger fades if you wait just 10 seconds before acting. Neuroscience backs the Stoics, proving that delay is your ally. That's not just philosophy. It's a tool you can use today. Imagine the relief. Letting go of that heat, reclaiming your calm. Have you ever tried waiting before responding? How did it feel? Share your story below. Let's learn from each other. But why does anger feel so automatic? Let's dig deeper into the illusion we've been sold. Think about it. Anger isn't born in you. It's learned, picked up like a bad habit. Why do we cling to it? Because we're taught its strength when it's really a trap. I once watched a man lose it at a store, yelling over a spilled coffee. He stormed out, then slinked back, embarrassed. The anger didn't fix a thing. It just drained him. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Reject your sense of injury and the injury itself disappears. That's the illusion. It's not real unless you give it power. Try this. Next time someone annoys you, imagine their words as gibberish. If they mean nothing, why let them spark anger? It's a mental game, and you can win it. Did you know cultural views on anger vary wildly? In some places, it's a badge of honor. In others, a sign of weakness. That proves it's not innate. It's a story we tell ourselves. What's your biggest anger trigger? Drop a comment. Let's explore it together. So if anger's an illusion, how do we replace it with calm? That's where the real strength lies. The Stoics didn't fight anger. They embraced calm as their shield. It's not passive, it's powerful. Think of a surgeon in an emergency. Steady hands save lives. Last month, my boss criticized me harshly. I kept calm, responded with facts, and earned respect instead of resentment. Seneca said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Calm buys you time to take control. When anger hits, breathe deep. Picture yourself as that surgeon, steady, unshaken. It works, every time. Fun fact, calm people intimidate more than loud ones. Silence is power. Try it today and feel the shift. But how do you stop anger cold when it strikes? Let's uncover a 3-step Stoic shield. That shield is simple. Spot it, shift it, release it. Notice the trigger, like that rude email that tightened my jaw yesterday. Then shift. Ask, can I react differently? I took a breath. Let it go. Finally, release it with calm. I deleted the email and moved on, free. Epictetus taught, it's not the thing itself, but your judgment of it. Change your view, and anger vanishes. Next time it rises, spot it, shift it, release it. You'll feel lighter, instantly. What situation could you use this for? Share below. I'll reply. Ready to make this permanent? Let's turn Stoicism into a lifestyle with a 7-day reset. Mastering anger isn't overnight. It's a habit you build. Day 1. Track every anger spark. Seeing it kills the illusion. Day 2. Pause for 10 seconds before you react. Control starts there. Day 3. Flip it. Smile when you'd frown. Day 4. Weigh it. Ask, why does this matter? Day 5. Reflect. Journal a calm moment. Day 6. Test it. Face a tough day without reacting. Day 7. Claim it. Review your growth. I did this last year. On day 6, a client yelled. I stayed calm, solved it. Anger didn't tempt me. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not events." This reset proves it. By day 7, people will notice your chill. That's the Stoic glow. Will you try it? Comment your day 1 trigger. I'm rooting for you. The illusion you've been sold. Have you ever wondered why anger feels like it owns you, like a shadow you can't shake? It creeps in, uninvited, and suddenly you're caught in its grip. Now that we've seen the power to control your reaction, let's go deeper. I've been there, felt the heat rise when a stranger snapped at me, or when a friend's words cut too deep. It's heavy, exhausting, and you're not alone in carrying that weight. The frustration lingers, the regret stings, and it can feel like there's no way out. Here's the truth that might surprise you. Anger isn't built into you. It's an illusion you've been taught to believe. Think about it. Why do kids throw tantrums? Because they learn it gets attention or results. Maybe a parent gives in or a teacher scolds, and that lesson sticks. Somewhere along the way, you carried that into adulthood. It's not natural. It's a habit shaped by years of conditioning. This illusion tricks us, making us think anger is strength, a shield against the world. But it's really a chain, holding you back from peace. I once saw a guy lose it at a coffee shop. His order was wrong, and he yelled, stormed out in a fury. 10 minutes later, he slinked back, face red, embarrassed. The anger didn't fix his coffee. It didn't change a thing. It just made him look small, vulnerable. Why do we keep buying this illusion? Because we've been sold a lie that losing control is justified, that it proves we care. Marcus Aurelius saw through this centuries ago. He wrote, "Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears." That's the heart of it. Anger isn't real unless you make it real. It's not the event. It's the story you tell yourself. Take a moment. Picture someone insulting you. Now, imagine those words in a language you don't understand. Does your blood boil? Probably not. You might feel confused, even amused. The illusion fades because the meaning you give it, that's where the power lies. It's not the words, it's your interpretation. I felt this myself. A neighbor complained about my dog barking. My first instinct, anger. But then I stepped back, saw it as noise, not a personal attack. The anger melted away. That shift, it's liberating. So, test this. Next time someone annoys you, pretend their words are gibberish. If they're meaningless, why get mad? It's a simple trick, but it rewires how you see the world. I tried it last week. A co-worker grumbled about my work. I let it slide, treated it like background noise, and the anger never took root. That freedom, it's real. It's not about ignoring, it's about choosing what deserves your energy. Have you ever noticed how anger feels different depending on who's watching? Maybe it's louder with strangers, quieter with loved ones, or perhaps it flares up more when you're tired, less when you're at peace. Drop a comment. What's your biggest anger trigger? Let's unpack it together. Your story might help someone else find their way. Here's a surprise. Did you know anger's perception changes across cultures? In some places, like parts of the Middle East, a raised voice is a sign of passion, a mark of honor. In others, like Japan, it's seen as a loss of dignity, a weakness to avoid. That variation proves it's not innate. It's learned, reinforced by how we're raised. Why do we hold on to it then? Because it feels familiar, like an old friend. But that friend, it's holding you back. It's a pattern, etched into your mind by years of reacting, not reflecting. Imagine letting go, watching that illusion dissolve. It's not easy, but it's possible. If you felt this struggle, you're not alone. I've seen it in myself, in friends, the battle to break free from that cycle. One time, I replayed an argument in my head for days, feeding the anger, until I realized it was gone from their mind, but alive in mine. That's the trap. We keep it alive. So, what's the next step? Practice this today. Turn off the noise in your mind. When anger knocks, ask, why am I letting this control me? Take a deep breath. Let it pass. It's a small act, but it builds strength. Challenge yourself to see the illusion for what it is. Last month, I faced a heated argument with a family member. I stepped back, reframed it as their frustration, not my failure. The anger faded, and we talked it out calmly. That's the Stoic way, turning chaos into clarity. Try it. Next time someone pushes your buttons, pause, reframe, release. You'll feel lighter, more in control. But there's more to uncover. Think about a time you held on to anger. Did it serve you, or did it weigh you down? I've done that. Clung to resentment, only to realize it hurt me more. The Stoics teach, it's not the insult, it's your attachment to it. Picture a river flowing. Anger is the debris you grab, but let go, and it floats away. I once worked with someone who criticized every idea. My old self would have fought back. Now, I listen, nod, and move on. The illusion loses power because I don't feed it. Have you tried this? How did it change your day? Share below. Let's build a community of peace. So, if anger's an illusion, how do we break free? Let's talk about staying calm instead. The quiet power that changes everything. Picture a captain steering through a storm. Steady, focused. That's where we're headed next. A strength that silence brings. The calm that conquers all. Have you ever wondered why peace feels so elusive when the world around you spins out of control? Now that we've uncovered the illusion of anger, let's take a step further. I've felt that chaos too. The rush of frustration when plans fall apart. The sting of a harsh word from someone close. It's overwhelming, and you're not alone in that storm. The weight of it can pull you under. But there's a way to rise above. The Stoics didn't fight anger. They replaced it with calm. Calm isn't weakness. It's the strongest shield you've got. It's not about ignoring the fire. It's about standing steady as it burns out. Think of it this way. Anger is a reaction, a reflex we've been trained to trust. But calm is a choice, a power you build. I've lived this myself. Last month, my boss chewed me out in a meeting. The room went quiet, eyes on me, and I could have exploded. But I kept my cool, responded with facts, and walked away respected, not rattled. That moment, it wasn't about winning the argument. It was about controlling my response, and that changed everything. Picture a firefighter rushing into a blaze. No panic, just focus, saving lives with steady hands. That's calm in action, and it's within your reach. Seneca understood this deeply. He said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Calm buys you time to take back control. It's not about suppressing, it's about mastering the moment. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, betrayals, loss, yet he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That power, it's in your breath, your pause, your choice to stay grounded. I've seen it work. A friend once snapped at me over a misunderstanding. My old self would have fired back, but I waited, let the calm settle, and we talked it out later. The tension dissolved, and our bond grew stronger. Calm isn't passive, it's the quiet strength that shifts the tide. So, when anger hits, breathe deep. Picture yourself as that firefighter, steady, unshaken. It works, every time. Close your eyes, feel the air, let it anchor you. I tried this during a heated family debate. The room was loud, opinions flying. I breathed, visualized that calm, and suddenly I saw the bigger picture. The anger faded. and I guided the conversation to peace. Try it today. It's a small step, but it builds a fortress around your mind. Have you ever tried staying calm in a storm? How did it feel? Share your story below. Let's learn and grow together. Here's a surprise, fun fact. Calm people intimidate others more than loud ones. Silence is power. Think about it. A shouting match gives away your weakness, but a steady gaze, a quiet response, it unnerves the aggressor. I've seen this in action. A colleague once tried to provoke me. I stayed silent, met his eyes, and he backed down. That's the Stoic edge. Calm disarms where anger fails. Did you know? Studies show people associate calmness with leadership. It's not the loudest voice, it's the steadiest presence that commands respect. If you felt the urge to yell, try this instead, and watch the dynamic shift. But there's more to explore. Imagine a time you lost your temper. Did it solve anything? Or did it leave you drained? I've been there. Let anger take over, only to regret the words I couldn't take back. The Stoics teach, calm is your armor. It's not just about you, it's about the ripple effect. Last year, I faced a rude driver, horns blaring, tempers flaring. I chose calm, waved him off, and the tension broke. He drove away. I drove on, at peace. That choice, it's yours too. Challenge yourself. Next time chaos strikes, breathe, stay steady, and see the difference. It's not easy, but it's transformative. Join the conversation. Have you found calm in a tough moment? What worked for you? Drop a comment. Let's build a community of strength. I've learned from others' stories, and you might inspire someone too. One viewer shared how they stayed calm during a child's tantrum, turning a fight into a hug. That's the power, the quiet victory. If you felt that struggle, you're not alone. I've walked that path, felt the pull of anger, and found calm through practice. It's a journey, but one worth taking. So, how do you react when chaos strikes? Let's uncover a Stoic trick to stop anger cold, a tool to lock in that calm for good. That's where we're headed next, a practical way to master your mind. The 3-step Stoic Shield. Have you ever wondered why anger hits so fast and feels so hard to escape? Now that we've embraced calm as our shield, let's take it further. I've been there, felt the rush when a friend's harsh words stung, or when a delay threw my day into chaos. It's a heavy burden, and you're not alone in that struggle. The heat rises, the pulse quickens, and it can feel like you're losing yourself. But there's a way to stop it, right in the moment. This 3-step Stoic Shield stops anger in under 10 seconds. Spot it, shift it, release it. It's a simple process, but it's powerful. First, spot the trigger. Notice what sets it off. Yesterday, a rude email sparked my anger. I felt my jaw tighten, my hands clench. It was instant, but recognizing it, that's the first break. Then, shift it. Ask yourself, can I react differently? I took a breath, decided it wasn't worth my energy. That pause, it's where the power lies. Finally, release it. Let it go with calm. I hit delete and moved on. Free. The weight lifted and peace returned. I've used this before. A neighbor complained about noise. I spotted the tension, shifted my view, released it with a nod, and the anger never took hold. Epictetus taught us this truth. He said, It's not the thing itself, but your judgment of it. Shift your view, and anger vanishes. It's not about the event, it's about how you see it. I remember a time a co-worker took credit for my work. My old self would have argued, but I spotted the jealousy, shifted to see it as their insecurity, released it with a smile. The anger dissolved, and I kept my dignity. This isn't just theory, it's a tool honed by Stoic wisdom, and it works. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal, yet he wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." That's the shift, turning rage into strength. So, try this today. Spot the next anger trigger, shift your reaction, release it. You'll feel lighter, instantly. Start small, maybe a snarky comment online. Notice it. Ask, is this worth my peace? Then let it go. I did this last week. A driver cut me off. I spotted the irritation, shifted to see it as their rush, released it with a breath. The road felt calmer, and so did I. It's not about ignoring, it's about choosing. Have you ever caught yourself mid-rage? How did it feel to step back? Share below. I'll reply. Let's support each other. Here's a surprise. Did you know anger often backfires? Studies show people respect those who stay composed more than those who lash out. Calm carries authority, while rage reveals weakness. I've seen it. A friend once yelled at a waiter and lost everyone's respect. But when I stayed calm in a similar spot, people noticed, even thanked me later. That's the Stoic edge. Calm disarms. It doesn't destroy. Imagine that power, walking through life, unshaken. If you felt the urge to explode, try this instead, and watch the world respond. But there's more to this journey. Think of a time you reacted. Did it help? Or did it leave you hollow? I've been there. Let anger spill over, only to apologize later. The Stoics teach, it's not the trigger, it's your response. Last month, a family argument flared up. I spotted the hurt, shifted to understand their side, released it with calm words. We reconciled, and the bond grew. That's the shield at work, protecting you and others. Challenge yourself. Next time tension rises, use these steps. Breathe, reframe, let go. It's a practice, but it builds resilience. Join the conversation. What's one situation where you could have used this shield? Maybe a fight with a loved one, or a stressful workday. Drop a comment. Let's learn together. One viewer shared how they stopped a feud with this method, turning silence into understanding. That's the power, the quiet victory. If you felt that pull, you're not alone. I've wrestled with it, felt the urge to react, and found freedom in release. It's a path, one step at a time, toward peace. So, are you ready to make this permanent? Let's turn Stoicism into a lifestyle, a way to live, not just a moment to survive. That's where we're headed next, a challenge to transform your days. The 7-day Stoic Reset. Have you ever wondered why anger keeps pulling you back, even after you try to let it go? Now that we've built a shield to stop it, let's take the next step. I've felt that tug too. The frustration when a plan fails, the sting of a loved one's sharp words. It's a heavy load, and you're not alone in carrying it. The heat lingers, the mind races, and it can feel like a battle you can't win. But there's a path forward, a way to break free. Mastering anger isn't a one-off. It's a habit you build. This 7-day Stoic Reset will rewire your mind, turning that illusion into strength. It's not about fighting. It's about training yourself day by day. Start with day 1. Track it. Write down every anger spark. Seeing it kills the illusion. I did this once. Jotted every flare-up. A rude driver, a delayed meeting. On paper, it looked small, not the monster I'd made it. Day 2. Pause it. Wait 10 seconds before you react. Control starts here. I tried this with a co-worker's complaint, counted to 10, and the urge to snap faded. Day 3. Flip it. Smile when you'd usually frown. It's weird, but it works. A friend teased me. I grinned, and the tension broke. Day 4. Weigh it. Ask, why does this matter? Most times, it doesn't. A spilled coffee once set me off, but asking that, I let it go. Day 5. Reflect it. Journal. When did I choose calm over anger? I wrote about a quiet moment, and it deepened my peace. Day 6. Test it. Face a tough day without reacting. You're stronger than you think. Last year, a client yelled at me on day 6. I stayed calm, solved the issue. Anger didn't even tempt me. Day 7. Claim it. Review your week. Anger's gone because you took control. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not events." This reset proves it. It's not about the outside world. It's about your inner strength. I've walked this path, felt the shift. That client day, it was a turning point. I listened, responded with clarity, and walked away lighter. The Stoics knew change comes from practice, not perfection. Imagine that, a week of small wins, building a life of peace. Have you felt that pull of anger? How did it change your day? Share below. Let's grow together. Here's a surprise. By day 7, people will ask why you're so chill. That's the Stoic glow. I noticed it last year. Friends remarked on my patience. Co-workers admired my focus. It's not just you. It's the energy you carry. Studies show consistent calm boosts respect, draws others in. I've seen it. A quiet response in a heated room, and suddenly, you're the one they listen to. That glow, it's your reward. If you've struggled with anger, this is your chance. One viewer tried this, turned a family fight into a laugh, all by day 4. That's the power, the quiet transformation. But let's dig deeper. Think of a time anger ruled you. Did it help, or did it leave you empty? I've been there, let it spill, only to feel the weight later. The Stoics teach, it's a choice, day after day. Last month, I tracked a week of triggers, a neighbor's noise, a friend's delay. By day 5, reflecting showed me patterns. By day 7, I claimed my peace. Try this. Start today. Write down that first spark. Pause tomorrow. Flip it the next day. Each step, it builds. Challenge yourself to see anger as an illusion, not a truth. I did this with a sibling's jab. Paused, weighed it, released it. The bond grew, and I felt stronger. Join the conversation. Will you try this? Comment your day 1 trigger. I'm rooting for you. One person shared their day 3 flip. A smile stopped a feud. That's the community, the shared strength. If you've felt that fire, you're not alone. I've battled it, seen others triumph. It's a journey, 1 week at a time. Picture day 7, looking back, lighter, freer. That's the goal, the Stoic life. A friend once said, after this reset, arguments felt like whispers, not storms. That's the shift, the control you gain. So, what's next? Ready to live this way? Let's turn Stoicism into a lifestyle, a daily practice, not just a moment. That's where we're headed, a challenge to own your peace. Now that we've journeyed through this together, let's pause and reflect. Anger isn't your master. You are. We've uncovered its illusion, built a shield with calm, and given you a 7-day reset to take control. The Stoics knew this 2,000 years ago. Real strength lies in choosing how you react. That's the heart of it. A power within you, waiting to be claimed. You'll never be angry again, not because life gets easier, but because you've mastered your mind. It's not about avoiding storms, it's about standing tall through them. Picture that freedom, a life where frustration fades, where peace reigns. That's the Stoic promise, and it's yours to embrace. Start today. Spot one anger trigger and let it pass. Feel that lightness? That's Stoicism at work. Take a moment, breathe, and release. It's a small step, but it opens the door to a calmer you. If this hit home, smash that like button. It helps us reach more seekers of peace. Subscribe for weekly Stoic wisdom and share this with someone who needs it. Drop a comment. What's your biggest takeaway? Did the reset inspire you? Let's keep this conversation going. Your voice matters. Have you felt that shift, that quiet strength? Share your story below. It might lift someone else. One viewer found calm on day 3, turning a fight into a smile. That's the power, the community we build. If you've struggled with anger, you're not alone. I've walked that path and found light through these lessons. Let's grow together. These insights are just the start. In our next video, we'll dive into daily Stoic practices, tools to keep this peace alive. Don't miss it. Your journey's worth it. Take that first step now and feel the difference. Are you ready to live with mastery? Let's make it happen.